Hi, welcome to Manas Shil YouTube channel. Before we start, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Let's start the video. If you haven't watched the previous video, I'll link it in the description box, or you can click here. Tensura Volume 20. Chapter 2. Report and Countermeasures. Rimuru's collaborator. The news came via an urgent telepathy net from Rimuru. Hey Rimuru, I'm in trouble. You know, you're always talking about how hard things are, but I'm going through a lot, too, you know. I tried to let it go lightly, but this time it was really hard. Listen, I've lost contact with Millam's office. I ordered them to investigate immediately, but I have a bad feeling about this. Rimuru said. Just a few minutes ago, Gopta and the others returned and reported that they had succeeded in defeating Zelanis. But the problem happened right after that. Suddenly, the video monitoring the war situation stopped working. Fortunately, the portal remained connected to the site. Gopta and his team had to go back to the site to investigate, and Rimuru contacted me at control room. This is bad, he said. Well, this is what I call having no time to calm down. I don't think Millam has anything to do with this, but I do have an idea about the video interference. It's Velzard, isn't it? Seal-san agrees with me. Then we can be almost sure that it is Velzard. Tell Gopta and the others to take it easy. I'll be back soon. I told Rimuru and ended the conversation. Then I turned to Luminous. Sorry, there's an emergency. What's going on? I think Millam and Velzard-san got into a fight. I've got to call Guy and I'm going to head back. Luminous nodded her head in agreement. Okay. We'll be ready for Daggerel, don't worry. That's right. Let's see if we can defeat the Titans by ourselves. To allay my fears, Luminous tells me it's going to be okay. And even Xian assured me that we would be fine on our own. I couldn't take her word for it, but I could trust her for a little while, until we could figure out what to do. Well, I'm going back. Yes, I'll take care of it. Yes, I remember now. I should tell you this, too. Luminous, just so you know, don't be too sure about the 4-day window. The earliest the Daggerel forces can expect to reach the island is 4 days. But that is only if they maintain their current speed of march. There might be someone like me who can shift the whole army, so we need to be careful. You're right. I have considered this possibility. You can do it, you know. It would be negligent of a commander to think that the enemy can't do what we can do. Yes, she understood me. Then I have nothing more to say. I'll take care of the important ones first, since I can rush to your aid if the need arises. Take care. You too. Luminous and I nodded at each other. Good luck, Rimuru-sama. With that kind of push from Xian and the others, I returned to Tempest. Upon my return, I quickly made my way to the control room. And then, I was shocked at what I saw. Tasteless. Very, very bad. On the big screen, we saw Millam, who was so furious that she had lost her reason, transformed into a deformed form and went on a rampage. Her opponent was Velzard. She is a bewitching beauty with a smiling face, but she is not backing away from Millam, who has turned into a real destroyer, and they are fighting each other evenly. Both of them. It was truly the battle of the gods all over again. What's going on here? Rimuru answered without a pause. Gopta is filming us. No, that's not what I wanted to ask. I'm asking you what's going on. Oh, that. As you can see, it sucks. Well, now I understand why Rimuru is completely useless. It was Benimaru who stood up from his luxurious commander's seat to greet me as I let out a sigh of exasperation. We were all excited about our success in defeating Zelanis, but suddenly we lost contact with him. I sent Gopta, who had just returned, to scout the area. There, it was confirmed that Velzard-sama and Millam-sama were in a state of battle. Benimaru told us the story to the point. The most interesting thing about the situation in the area is that there are no known survivors. The battlefield was completely covered with white ice, and there were no signs of life. Ranga, who was with Gopta, has been trying to collect some kind of scent particles by wind manipulation to help us understand the situation. As it turned out, all the smells had disappeared. In other words, although we could see the ice sculptures from the visual information, we could assume that the whole battlefield was in the same situation. Well, I would have liked to check out the ice sculptures, but it seems that even Gopta, who is protected by Ranga, had difficulty, or rather impossibility, in getting close to them. Is it that bad? Yes. This video was also shot from the maximum possible distance. Gopta was whining about it, but I'm trying to get him to be patient. I think Benimaru is not only a devil at heart, but a real devil, but I don't think this is the time to talk so lightly. Carrera and her men are still there, but they can't communicate with me on the telepathy net either. We are connected by the soul corridor. Everyone on the battlefield is dead or alive. This is, indeed, the worst thing that could happen. I didn't want to think that Carrera and the others were dead. Besides, Carrion and Free-san must have been there. It was unthinkable that there were so many million class members who could not do anything and they're wiped out in a short period of time. If there was some emergency, we had agreed to stall for time. And yet, here we are. Although it was not clear from the video, Milum seemed to have gone out of control. She seemed to unleash a level of power that was beyond normal, and was having a big fight with Velzard. I wondered what could have caused that. I can't get the bad imagery out of my mind. But being stuck in it does not solve anything. It's no wonder Ramrus is completely out of her mind, but I can't let that happen to me either. The battlefield must be a hell of a mess. I made up and changed my mind. What do we do now? There is no point in panicking. In such a situation, we should think about what we can do now. Keep our mind calm and collected. They must think of countermeasures one by one, and deal with them one by one, starting with what they can do. All the remaining dungeons Elite 10 are summoned. It will be too dangerous to go any further, so let Gopta and the others return as well. But, Rimuru-sama, I don't think the battle between Milum and Velzard-san will be so easily settled. I think the only ones who can take on Milum in his runaway state are me and Vildor, don't you? To be honest, I don't like it either. I mean, if Milum really gets out of control, who can stop her? I heard that Ramrus interceded in a clash with Guy a long time ago, but I can't expect much from Ramrus now. However, hoping for the near zero chance that Ramrus might have interceded. Hey, Ramrus, just a question, can you bring Milum back to her senses while I hold Velzard-san back? Hey, are you asking me to die? I knew it. I thought this solution was impossible, and I didn't expect it from the beginning, but now I have proof. It seems that Ramrus, who is now a little girl, could not take it from the ground up. No, I thought it would be impossible. But I didn't think you would come with a plan to make Milum go berserk. She mutters and lets out a sigh. While Benimaru and the others are busy gathering the executives, we have to think about our next move. To be honest, I had not expected this. It is bad enough to have a traitor among our own people, but to have an even worse calamity waiting for us. No, I knew it was an effective means, but I didn't expect it to be this way. If Milum really goes out of control, the world may collapse. This is a forbidden measure that does not involve friend or foe, and if she is prepared to do this without a fight, we need to be prepared for a more serious situation. And what does that mean? Unleashing the world-destroying Dragon Ivorage is the most likely candidate, but we should also be on the lookout for other dangerous measures. In other words, anything goes, no rules. That's really bad. How to bring Milum back to her senses when she's out of control is a problem, and now she has Velzard-san to interfere with that. I thought of asking Vildora for help, but when Velzard-san's image appeared in the video, he became suspicious and ran away, saying he remembered something he had to do. He's so unreliable at the critical moment, isn't he? Well, we can't complain about it since it's the same for us. If we could escape, we would run away as fast as we can. But that's not an exaggeration, it means the end of mankind. To be honest, I'm troubled by it. Even if I'm the only one who survives, it doesn't mean anything. It was better to resist with all my might than to tolerate such a future. It's time to stop whining. I have switched my mind to think seriously about countermeasures from now on. Before the executives gather, I have one more thing to do. That is, to summon some powerful helpers. So, I'm calling for your immediate support. Gisama didn't seem to be interested, but let me, Rain, do the negotiating here. Yes, it was Gi whom I was trying to call. To tell the truth, no matter how hard I try, it's impossible for me to deal with Velzard and Milum at the same time. You can't win a war with mentality. I was not going to enter into a fight that I could not win, and if I had no choice but to do it, I would not spare any effort to improve my chances of winning. So I tried to connect telepathy net to Gi, but was rejected. Did he get tired of it, sensing the battle between Velzard and Milum? No, I don't think so. Gi, unlike Vildor, knows what he has to do. In other words, he thinks that there is a more serious threat than this. The fact that Seal-san and Gi came to the same conclusion depresses me. The problems are piling up. Even if I involve Gi, I can deal with Velzard-san, but Milum will inevitably be with me. Even though I could see the way to that point, I had no plan beyond that point, which was the cause of my uneasiness. I can manage just to fight. But I'm not sure if I can deal with Milum without affecting this planet, let alone the ground. Probably, it is all I can do not to die. Well, even if I die, I can come back as long as Vildora is around, but if I retire, Gi's burden will increase and he will be out of the game. No matter how strong Gi is, it is impossible for him to play against both of them at the same time. In the first place, the star itself will be destroyed if Gi doesn't play well against them. It's not good. In addition to this, Feldway, Iverage, and so on. It was just too much of a challenge one after another, even though we had defeated Michael. Now, even if I really try to think of a countermeasure, my mind is filled with unpleasant imaginations. While I was thinking like this, I received a reply from Rain. Rimuru-sama, it's perfect. Gi-sama is willing to do what I'm asking. Hey, Rimuru, why are you using my Rain as your errand girl? What? Needless to say, it was Gi who interrupted the telepathy net from Rain. He didn't seem to understand why Rain and I were getting along so well, but of course there was a reason for this. I had recognized Rain's talent as a painter, and had started to ask her to do various things for my personal use. Rain has responded to my requests with great pleasure, and now she has established a position that she is my personal painter. As to how we came to this relationship, it was after the meeting at Leon's castle. After the meeting at Leon's castle, I showed her the paintings that I had confiscated from Diablo. The paintings that Rain had done were very beautiful. Like a photograph. Rain's paintings had various expressions without a model, just by spreading the wings of imagination. Among them, yes. There were nudes, too. As for me, I am naturally interested in them. From an artistic point of view, of course. The pursuit of beauty has no limits, and my desire for it knows no bounds. I have no guilty feelings at all, but just out of intellectual curiosity as a person who pursues beauty, I just had to ask you. Rain, can you draw a nude without a model? I asked. Rain replied to my genuine question. It's expensive. Not whether you can do it or not, but how expensive. Gently, I held out the bag of gold coins. Rain quickly tucked it into her pocket without moving an eyebrow. Then, without losing her calm attitude, she said, "Gold coins for the devil is nonsense. But I respect Rimuru-sama." She said something like that. I thought to myself. This was the beginning of a high level of psychological warfare. So I just asked her, "What do you want?" I asked her. It wasn't advanced at all, and it wasn't even sort of, you know. It was more of a direct. Well, ignoring the outside intrusion, Rain's answer was as follows. "I'm interested in points," she appealed to me, looking at me with pure eyes. From there, it was easy to win her over, let's say. I had a lot of personal meetings with Rain. I became her patron and supported her artistic activities. If Seal-san had done the brain preservation, I might not have felt so much enthusiasm. However, since she has been uncooperative at the critical moment, I have found a way of life in Rain's paintings. Chia. I thought I heard something like a clap of tongue, but no, it must have been my imagination. I'm a little tired, I guess. Because I don't have any guilty conscience. I don't understand why so many of them have nudity as a motif. I don't like it, Seal-san. There's nothing in this world that Seal-san doesn't know. So maybe it's just my imagination. And that's the end of this story. Thus, the relationship between Rain and me has become a close one, and now she is working with me as an outside collaborator, doing whatever I want. It is natural for Guy to be suspicious, but I don't owe him any explanations. So, I replied to him with a proud smile, "This is not the time for this. It's an emergency, so come here right now. ASAP." With that, I ended my telepathy net with Guy. The painting I have asked Rain to do on Hinata's model is not finished yet. I can't allow this world to be destroyed before I see it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy it.